So welcome to our rescheduled week 2. We had a bonus session yesterday. Rosetta can't make it tonight, actually. She messaged me back today to say so sorry. She didn't get the message. So good evening, Rosetta, when you watch the replay. And so I hope you enjoy whatever we get up to tonight.
And what about Michelle?
Michelle.
I thought Michelle was going to join.
Oh, the one I was going to invite, Denise. Yeah, she said she wants to wait for the Healing with Love. That's what she wanted. So she's going to wait till I reconvene that class. So I need to gather a couple more people for it. Yeah. Okay, so
we're on the compassion train.
We're in the compassion group, not the Healing with Love group. Well, it's kind of extension of. We are in the extension of that. So, okay, well, let's just see where we kind of started and what we, came to understand. So we started to look at the energy movement of compassion in the first session and to see it as needing more energy, because actually we're looking to be able to be with love, a lower energy, a suffering state, so which needs more energy. And that as we do that, there's some kind of a healing and setting free of that which we are witnessing. So we started in the first session of just doing some self-compassion. And I did it to myself in my moment, and I think you chose your aspects at the time. And so I wanted to kind of progress on to the aspects. So we continue on the self-compassion, but actually look at our aspects that are still struggling or suffering or having a hard time in some way. And let's look at the dynamic of the witnessing of that energy state and being able to be love and compassion in the presence of it. So in other words, to handle it with love. So we heal anything which is judgment or numbness or disconnection or anything that is not love ourselves. So a question to ask to get to that place when we look at our aspect is, well, what's the aspect feeling? And what do we feel in the body when we witness the aspect feeling that? How does that energy, how is we handling that within ourselves, that we can soften and flow to move into flow? And then we can go deeper into, well, what are they actually feeling? Let's look closer. Let's witness it more deeply. What is actually going on for the aspect? And when we understand that more, we can say, and where do we feel that in the body? And heal, soften and flow. And so we can kind of go deeper to more completely witness the aspect's experience, to then heal everything that which isn't love in ourselves. And as we do that and we grow in our love, how the aspect evolves. So that's the pattern that the basic pattern. And then once we kind of evolve, we explore this, it will be nice to then go on to look at other people, to witness this, do the same pattern with other people, and something about that. So is that sort of so far, so we're on the same page? Yeah.
So we need an aspect that is like less than happy.
Yeah. An aspect that's less than happy. Yeah. And we want to take a moment to connect with that aspect. And if it's uncomfortable to begin to connect with the aspect, then just a reminder that we're here in the room with each other, and the aspect is where the aspect is, and the aspect is having that experience. And just take a moment to establish where the aspect is and when the aspect is, what the aspect is actually feeling. So we all got one. Let's take a moment. Yeah. So just let me take a moment to kind of connect with one of mine. The one that was swearing the other day. Yeah. The one that said the F word a lot. Who never really says the F word at all. That one. Yeah.
So it's not like the objective is not like to re-educate the aspect or make them a better person or anything.
No, that's a good point. We're not doing like trying to heal the aspect. We're actually trying to heal that in us, which isn't love, in the presence of the aspect doing what they're doing. See what effect that has on us and the aspect as an exploration. So, okay, so take a moment to connect with your aspect. And as you do, ask yourself, how do I feel as I connect to the aspect first? How do I feel about my aspect in this state? And where do I feel that in my body? And to allow it, allow the feeling. And breathe deep. And in healing the feeling, we can look at it with love. Shine soft, gentle love on that part of ourselves we want to heal and evolve. Allowing everything. As we look with soft, gentle love on it, allowing any softening and any flowing to happen. And after some movement or shift or release, and go back to revisit that aspect. And again, how do I feel towards the aspect? What do I feel in my body now? Allow the feeling. And allowing it to soften, to flow. Check what's remaining inside, where it is, how it is, what's it physically like in your body. And just for a moment, allow that feeling. with soft, gentle, loving attention to the feeling. Allowing it to soften and flow. And any remaining feeling in the body, allowing it, noticing it physically, its location, size, shape, density, allowing it and looking on it with love until it softens and flows. And as that flow starting to be experienced, better flow, the next thing you can do, go back to the aspect and look more closely at the aspect's experience. As we connect to the aspect, how do we feel towards the aspect? That's our first impact to heal. Next is, let's look more closely. What's the aspect actually feeling? What's their emotional state? What are they feeling? And then the question, where do I feel aspects, emotion of this in my body? And again, to allow and to soften and to flow. And again, just noticing what you feel in your body, Margarita, physically where it's located. Allowing the physical feeling to be where it is. Allowing it. And just sitting to look softly on it. Soft, gentle, loving attention to that place. It needs to soften and flow. Notice how that's evolving. What's remaining? And you can test yourself again as you go back to the aspect. What are they actually feeling? How does it feel like that's evolved? What does it feel like they're feeling now? And where do you feel that feeling in your body? Just coming into your body, Margarita. Nice deep breath.
In my body, Cassandra. I'm in my body, very much in my body.
Okay, allowing the feeling. Looking softly with love on it. Looking softly with love on it. Allowing everything. Gentle, soft attention. And notice what's remaining in the body. Allow it. Bringing soft, gentle attention to that place. Allowing everything. Okay, let's just you need a little bit more time, Dieter, as well. Need a bit more time, Dieter, as well. Yeah.
Well, it hasn't moved a lot.
It's moved a lot. Okay, let's just do a little pause and we can go back because there's more to do yet and there's deeper to go. So let's observe what's changed so far. Feeling about the aspect, what's evolved, and the aspect's feeling. What do you perceive as evolved? Observation for you, Dita?
Well, I had just picked the aspect, an aspect of yesterday, and with a certain issue, and how was very aware how the aspect felt, and today how I feel about this aspect is also very clear, feeling in the body. And I was surprised how hard this feeling is, how hard.
The feeling about the aspect. And how has it evolved already?
It hasn't moved, but I wasn't aware how severe it was.
So now you know, and you're working with that. Okay, a little bit more time. Margarita, I know it's like a lot of emotion, a lot of energy. You notice an evolution, a movement. You notice a movement.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I mean, there's one word I would describe it as overwhelming. I mean, I couldn't go into anything less that's going on than what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And as I went into it, it's in my throat and the top of my chest. And as I went into it, like many other aspects of what I'm feeling were coming up. Like there's the grief, but there's also a feeling of guilt. There's a feeling of helplessness, and a feeling of not having done enough. I don't know what you call that, but there's so many feelings coming up, and also the feeling that I can't help the situation as it is now. Because I want, there are things, there's healing of relationships that needs to take place, and especially as I see, the way that especially one part of the family has been hurt very deeply, and there's no understanding that maybe the other parts have been hurt as well, and that's why they couldn't make a move, move in that situation. I'm sorry to be so vague about it, but I don't want to recorded. And so it's two sides of the family that I love, and it's my feelings of being in between, and the aspect is like feeling the grief of both sides, and feeling grief for there's an aspect as well that feels grief for the past, and wondering if she could have done more. And,
so
not that I know she couldn't.
Yeah.
I know she couldn't. And so in a way, it's kind of a softening in a way, because the aspects are revealing themselves of why this aspect is feeling so overwhelmed.
Yeah. And so take it one by one, because we're going to go to the past a bit, the past aspects. We're going to go there, but let's kind of take that aspect first.
Well, it's really the feeling. I suppose now it's more grief, the aspect of grief.
Okay. And so where do you feel that in your body? All of that?
Oh, it's still in my throat. It's like.
Yeah. Okay, so let's heal that, Margarita. Let's look at it, allow it, and let's spend the time to do that now. So Dita, you can go back to where you were at if you can. I'll just give a bit of extra support to Margarita. Hope it's not too distracting for you. So.
Sorry, Dita. I wish I could tell you, but I could tell you of this, but not.
Yeah. So just come into your body, in the throat, in the chest, and allow the physical feeling. Breathe and sit and look at the physical feeling. Forget the content now. Just focus on the physical feeling.
Yeah, no, it is the physical feeling I have.
All right.
I was just describing what it is.
Soft, gentle attention. Holding it in soft, gentle love. Nothing to do but look at it with the softest, most gentle love. Allowing everything. That's it. Notice how it's changing the throat and the chest. Working with love on that place in the throat and the chest. Relaxed breathing. Notice what's remaining. How is it different? Allow the remaining. And hold it in the gaze of the softest, most gentle love. Just looking there, softly. And allowing it to soften and flow. And notice what's evolving. Notice what's remaining. Allowing it. Shining soft gentleness on it. Allowing it to soften and flow. And if you feel a shift, a movement, check back with your aspect, the same aspect, and check how she's feeling now and Where do I feel that in my body now? Or what he's feeling now. And where do I feel that in my body now? Good, good. So I might do another status check in a moment, just to notice how we're doing, what's progressing, how we're evolving. So if we look again at what the aspect is feeling now at this moment, and ask, where do I feel that feeling of the aspect in my body? What do you feel now? What does that feel now in you? Is there anything still to soften and flow? So hard place in my heart. It's amazing. I didn't know it was there. Such a hard place. I found such a hard, like a kernel, like a walnut, hard place in my heart. It took a lot of softening, and it feels good.
Yeah, it's a similar thing, but this was really a hard thing.
Yeah.
That didn't move. Not like it was like a metal or stone or something.
Yeah. So just allowing, loving, looking. I was doing my happy love, shining happy love on it. Shining happy love on it. And it's just slowly softening. And now I can feel more open now there in that place. And I was very surprised to find, well, not surprised, but not surprised and not surprised. Because was connecting with the aspects rage. And so rage is like a big injury behind it, So every time I connected with the rage, that this kernel in my heart's not there now, much looser now. And I feel, a bit lighter and happier. Margarita, how are you doing?
I tell you, I had an extraordinary experience. I know that the I am that I am is resting on the I am of the Trinity. For me, that's my belief.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have been putting my grief for my niece. I felt during the week that I think I might have shared it already, that I put her into the heart of Jesus, and I felt Jesus put his arms around her and drew her into his heart. And there I am myself with all these feelings of grief and guilt and helplessness and everything because of the grief of those two groups that are left behind and their feelings and their aspects as well. And so I couldn't, my feeling of helplessness was because I could do nothing to help them be reconciled or anything in any way. And so suddenly, just after we started. I mean, I never thought I could come out of that because it was so overwhelming. And the next thing was, you'd think this is daft, but it's not to me. I felt very powerfully near me the human presence of Jesus. And I felt he leant over and kissed me on the cheek and said, "Don't worry, she's safe in my heart." And then after that, I uh, said, "Oh, well, then I can hand over to him all my aspects because I hadn't done that." And like, I handed over to him all those aspects of me into his heart. And also my helplessness for the others. And I handed over my, the aspect of me that wants to to love the aspects of the others, the other two groups, and to be there for them, but in peace in myself. That whatever their aspect or feeling, that I will be able to, even process them through my own body. And even for me, like, the important thing is that the love of Jesus is coming in and healing our aspects, because I realize through my life experiences that the only person that can really heal our aspects and who is the essence of love is the person that for me came and loved me and each one of us without any reserve. That, that even when he was hated and crowned and scourged and everything, he still forgave. And so, more and more every day as I'm getting older, I'm realizing this power that is there for me and that I don't always enter into. And that, I felt it was amazing. I felt as if his human face, came right up close to me, and he kissed my cheek and he said, "Don't worry, she's okay in my heart." And I feel so different about her. And I thought I heard her voice saying, "I'm home." And then, now I know that I can be there for the aspects of the others, because I couldn't before. Because every time any of them, when I spoke to one of them, was every time I spoke to them, I just heard their aspects, and I felt helpless to do anything to relieve their pain. And so now I feel what I have to do is feeling their aspects all right in me as they are in me, but also handing them over for healing to the one presence. I call it presence, to the one presence who can really love and who can love in me, because I can't love that way by my own steam. And I think I've been trying to do that. And tonight I've learned that it's only allowing that love into my aspects and handing them over for that love, that I can be who I am. And my throat is clear. It took it some time, but it's clear now, and the pain has gone out of my throat and out of the top of my chest. And I know that I need to continue handing, things as they come up, because they will come up. There'll be moments and different things will come up, but I need to be able to hand them over into that love, into that well of love that's inside in me. And actually, that I believe, no matter who we are, whatever is our religious belief, is that it's in the heart of every one of us, that deep power of love that's beyond us, that's greater than us. It's the I am who am, and I am the I am that's resting on that, and that I can by actually allowing myself to plunge into that. That is the answer to the pain of my aspect. Because tonight, I'll have to say, I felt overwhelmed. I thought I would never come out of this. And now I am feeling not absolutely free, but I'm feeling light.
So thank you, Margarita. It's really special to hear that sharing. And what I want to do with that, if I may, is show the energy movement taking place from what you've said. So you're witnessing your aspects in plural, feeling their pain in you. You soften and flow. You call upon the love to help you soften and flow. And then you let that flow and surrender it into love. So you're actually taking the in, bringing in love to help your flow, and surrendering it back into love.
I just want to say one thing. That I hadn't asked at all until I felt this presence right up close to me. And I never have felt this kiss on my cheek. I'll tell you now, it's like a human being, but more beautiful, because the face was huge. Came right up to me and, kissed my cheek and said, "It's okay. She's safe in my heart." And maybe it's me telling myself, I don't know, but I think it was, I didn't ask because I was still in the overwhelm. My aspects were still in overwhelm. And just when that happened, something, the healing happened inside me. The healing, the feeling of somebody loves me so much that they come into my life like this and do this in this moment when, I was feeling hopeless and very helpless. And like all of a sudden, everything is lifted.
So beautiful, beautiful. And just want to show again the dynamics, so we can understand the flow going on. There's an energy dynamic going on. Taking the aspect, feeling them, and all this big love coming in to help the flow, and then you surrendered your aspect. You let them go and surrender them back into love. So the in through out, with the help of extra love to help the flow. I just wanted to show that description from what you've actually just said. So, okay.
Thank you, Sandra. That's so good. It describes it very well.
Yeah, very good.
And it's great help as well to do the aspects, the further aspects that come up in this situation.
To have a way to work with them.
I think it's like plunging into the oceans of love.
So, Dita, how are you doing?
Sorry, Dita, right?
Yeah, for me, that was good. Like to notice that severe thing, and also at some point to notice the flow that at some point comes. It's not gone, but it is making sense to me about a certain thing. Because I noticed the severity of this, like the hardness, like the consistency of this blockage, and it felt like it can flow. It can start to flow as well, but it's not easy.
But there's more yet.
So,
a little bit more yet. So
yeah, a lot more.
A lot more, yeah. So again, while we're there now, we've got the same movement though. Of there's the aspect, having we connect, and our relationship with the aspect, how we feel in the presence of that state of the aspect, we're healing. So if you want to spend a little bit more time on that, a few more minutes before we finish, just to see if you can go a little bit further. And Margarita, you know, where we will go next, after we've reached a love flow in the presence of that aspect, then, you know, is a good question is to say, well, how did they come to feel that feeling? What happened to them that brought them the feeling that they had, that they reacted like that? Let's go back to the previous aspects.
You mean to the aspect before this one?
Yeah. What happened to their aspects that brought them to the state that they acted in that way? Because we're looking at the one aspect and their feeling. Let's say my example, my rage aspect.
Yeah, sorry, like looking at the one aspect and then all the other aspects that came up behind it. Is that it?
Yeah, that's where we want to go, because the aspect who acted in the way that we're looking at, and we're healing ourselves in front of that aspect. But how did they come to be in that state? Because X, Y, Z in the past happened because of their past aspects. And so when we look back at what happened to the previous aspect and the one before, the echoes or the Genesis event, and we look at those and we do the same thing. That aspect did that because of that aspect. Okay, what happened to that one? Where do I feel that in my body? What happened to that aspect? What were they feeling when that happened? Where do I feel that in my body? And we like clean deeply. So it's like how to the Genesis event, even we could go if that comes, or an echoes if we need to go to the Genesis event. But is where do you feel that in your body to heal everything to a love and compassion, and then to look at how that changes the aspects by just healing ourselves.
Well, you know, I actually feel that what happened in that moment went right back into the source of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt that, you know, because that love to me, that I felt that I received. It's not coming, it's coming from my own heart, but that it kind of shot through everything.
Yeah. So, and if that was so, maybe that's all those aspects are now, you know, maybe you've healed everything in the witness to all those aspects now, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Let's check. Let's test it. Let's test it.
Well, I have tested it in the moment, and I no longer feel. Now I feel it's in love. Okay. It's held in the heart of love, and all I have to do is to go back into that love. If it ever, if the aspects begin to emerge, or I see something again, because I can't. No, those aspects. I no longer feel anything in those aspects. At this moment, I no longer feel anything.
Okay, the aim's not to feel nothing. Is to feel love and compassion.
But you see, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. That now I feel the love and compassion. That I'm free inside myself. That I love myself enough to be free to listen to the pain of the aspects of others.
Okay.
And to process that through myself. You know, it's because when I hear them, they're not my aspects, they're their aspects, but I'm being affected. But my aspects, you know, are.
Are we talking about other people? You've gone on to next week's lesson now. Is like other people's aspects?
But you asked me that. You asked me, but I said to you that I felt that tonight that I felt the freedom. so that I can go next week or whenever.
You can go there. Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah. Great. Great. Great.
Yeah.
So why for you now? I don't know if you want to just take a moment to kind of affirm that or be in that or explore that.
I will. Yeah.
To let Dietra and I go a little bit step further.
Yeah. No. Of course.
More to do. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I will, of course.
Yeah.
And I apologize if I have taken up a lot of.
That's okay. That's okay.
I can see. It's amazing, isn't it?
Do you know at the end of Lord of the Rings, when they're all going off on their journey and they're all looking at each other with love and they don't have any words and they're just looking with love and looking. Wow. I feel a really big cleaning and releasing and opening in my heart. I feel a deep cleaning and opening and releasing of my heart energy from doing that pinpoint healing.
Doesn't it go to show, though, that we actually need to look at what our aspects are feeling?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, until you asked me that question tonight, I mean, for the last couple of weeks, I've been like this a lot of the time. I'd be feeling okay, and then I'd be back again, and you know, but like tonight has been completely different.
So, Dita, how's it going in your camp?
Well, this is like a very old thing, and it's at least I know that it's there and why it's so severe, and it has also moved a bit. It's like some clarity, you know. I've been like kind of judging myself because of certain things, and now I know what a big thing actually is. And you need some more of this. It's not like a really big movement that has happened, but this thing has also made me sick, like physically
in the
sick.
past.
Yeah, like it's been affecting me physically a lot. Now I know where it's coming from. It's like has a lot to do with authority and power and the tyranny of the upper powers that be, and a lot. It's a lot about the past.
So even if we, you know, it may be worth revisiting this pattern of healing the aspects next time to give a chance to either continue this theme to go deeper to heal it more completely, And that may apply to ourselves in the same way. We can explore it in a more deeper way to learn, to go where we haven't gone before with it. And if we feel that next time we completed something, we can choose another aspect to do the same for practice. So I think rather than, maybe you want to sit with it between sessions, but let's give both the aspects on this issue the time and attention that they're asking for, and at the same time go deeper, because we haven't done that before. We haven't gone that far. We haven't given that much attention and compassion before. So let's do it and see where it brings us. So what do you think? Would that be valuable for you, Dita?
Like what it feels like, it's it needs this energy, it needs this flow to it, because it's like a really big like a stone field or something.
So it still like needs more
flow. But I can see where it comes from, and like it's it needs a lot of that to.
So let's take another session on this pattern of healing our aspects, so you can spend more time on it if you choose next time, and we can either go further in our respective situation or choose another aspect if we think we completed. I think I would want to go a little bit further, just to search to see how far I can go with it, because already where I arrived was like, wow, this has really opened me up.
It's like, to me, it feels like it's I can't predict how much flow there will come. It's like if like this flow gets unlocked, and it can gets washed away.
When that
will happen, I cannot predict. But we can try whenever. It's always a good thing.
Yeah. So I feel very happy in myself, and with the movement there, I got, going from the rage aspect, really that took a lot of healing, the hardness in my heart, then to the hurt, the broken heart of the aspect, and to heal that, and then all the broken hearts, because of the theme, the running theme, to feel that. And as I just sat and I kept looking with love on it, I just got this like opening, like going down my body, and like a complete open shining thing going on. And I feel like really happy, like and light now. And set something free in my heart to be open. It's good. So but there's more to check out on that. So good. Well, good job, everybody. Good job. Good. Well done, everybody. Good job on each other, on our aspects, and looking the pattern, practicing the pattern. How do I feel towards the aspect? Clean. What's the aspect feeling? Where do I feel that in my body? Clean. What else is the aspect feeling? Where do I feel it in my body? Clean. What happened that the aspect should feel like that? How did they feel when that happened? Where do I feel that in my body? Clean. Right, until we heal the line of that pattern of that for that aspect. And then to look, what does that mean now for the aspect? I didn't check that. If I go back to that aspect of rage, the rage aspect, and I just connect with her, if you like, go back and check with the aspect now, not how you feel, but how the aspect feels. What's changing? What's changing for the aspect?
For me, in this, the difficulty was that I couldn't get to this
yet.
They couldn't find this like this gentleness with this theme. Like the gentleness was all kind of frozen and unavailable. Like that, the whole thing was like kind of infecting me so much that there was no gentleness left. Somehow.
Yeah, and so that's interesting when that is with kind of how able were you to do the I allow it to be as it is. I allow it to be. And in that allowing it to be.
This allowing it was a point which I found out that I couldn't allow it.
And that what allows you to move into the observer where you can shine the love, where you self can shine the love then. Well, that step's really important. So that's good. Okay, we did good investigation. Rosette, I hope you had a nice experience watching with us and doing your own thing. Look forward to hearing from you next time. So let's stop the record for tonight. Thanks, everybody. Week 2 closing.